Hello, thanks for tuning in. This is an update on my fortunes in running as a middle-aged runner. I took up running 5K park runs about how long ago? I think my first one was at the start of March 2025, and I've now run quite a few. For the first few months, I didn't do any training. I just did the park runs. I thought, well, if I run once a week or if I run once every 2 weeks, well, that can be the training too. Unfortunately, with that kind of attitude, progress was slow. However, I did reduce my time starting off from 38 minutes down to 32.5 minutes in 3 months. But I must say that that was with a walk-run strategy. So yeah, walk 50, run 50. And I did get down to 32.5 minutes, which isn't bad, but I want to do much better, and I actually want to try and run close to 20 minutes within a year. So whether that will be possible remains to be seen. Now, yeah, so my personal best was 32.5 minutes. I've since reduced that time to 29 minutes 23. On the 5th of July, I ran 29 minutes 23 on a 5 kilometer course that is all tarmac, well, virtually all tarmac. The last 100 meters or so is on grass, but 29 minutes 23, which I was absolutely thrilled with. So you can imagine that I was a little bit disappointed when my next run, which was on an all grass course, I ran in 30 minutes and 22 seconds, and which really cost me a lot of effort. If you look at the statistics for that, so the all tarmac course on the 5th of July, 29 minutes 23, average pace 552 per kilometer and 151 beats per minute on my heart. I use a Garmin watch. I don't know how accurate it is on the heartbeat, but let's just say that it is accurate anyway. So then a week later on a different course on the 12th of July, I ran 30 minutes 22 on a very hot day in Nottingham, and I averaged 605 per kilometers, and my heartbeat was 155. Now that was a really hard run, all grass. It was like an old school cross-country run actually, and I think I set off too quickly. I ran the first mile in about 9 minutes 15 or something, and I was always sort of struggling to keep the pace up. And I think my last mile was about 10 minutes 25 or something like that. And I was really struggling by about the halfway mark. I think I really started off too fast in that. I was too carried away because I'd done some good training during the week. And I thought, right, I've run 29 minutes 23. I've got to beat that. In order to beat that, I'm going to have to run about 9 minutes a mile. So I set off at that pace, but it was too fast. It was a hot day and I struggled on the grass course. And so, yeah, I ran about 9 minutes something for the first mile. The second mile was about 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes 40 or something for the last mile. And I ran 30 minutes 22, 155. That's actually my highest recorded heartbeat over a 5K course. So you can gather that I was really kind of struggling in that run. 30:22. Yeah, now I'd done my first 10K run in Nottingham that week as well. I ran all the way out from where my father lives in Silverdale, all the way out to the Trent, up all the way to Trent Bridge, over Trent Bridge, and then all the way back to the Clifton flyover, over the Clifton flyover, back into Silverdale. I did that run twice in that week before I ran that 30:22, and I ran at a pace of about 6 minutes 50 per kilometer on about 138 BPM on the heart. So that's about 33.5 minutes 5K pace. I believe that I set my fastest 10K there, which was 67 minutes. So I was quite pleased with those runs. I got through them reasonably well. And this is the first time really that I've run over 10K in a long, long time. Normally my training runs are about 5, 6, 7K. So I did 2 of those, and then I ran 30:22 on that all grass course, which I was disappointed with because I'd run 29 minutes 23 the previous week on a virtually all tarmac course. Well, I'd have to conclude that the tarmac course was just simply a faster course, and that's why I ran a minute faster on it. So yeah. Now moving on from there, my next park run a week later was in Scotland at Girvan. This is a 50-50. It's fairly flat all the way. Half of it's on concrete and the other half is on grass. And my previous best time on this course had been 30:55, and I ran, believe it or not, 30:22. I virtually ran the same time that I ran that all grass course in Nottingham, and I realized actually that that time of 30:22 on all grass was actually a pretty good time compared with what I'd run in Girvan, and the same time. So yeah, that 30:22 that I ran in Nottingham was actually a better quality run. I put a lot more effort into it though, and my heartbeat at 155 compared with this run in Girvan at 149. So I tried to pace myself on this Girvan run. More sensibly, I ran the first mile in about 9 minutes 45, and I tried to keep it around the 10-minute mark and then see what I could do at the end. I finished very strongly. The last 400 meters I ran at 25 minutes 5k pace, so I had lots inside me at the end, and I felt like I finished very strongly. Yeah, and I ran the same time, 30:22, which when I saw I was a bit disappointed. But you know, progress takes time. You can't expect really quick results, and I believe that I'm making fairly steady progress. My VO2 max has gone up from fair to excellent. No, it went up from poor 2 months ago, and I'm on excellent at the moment. I'm on 45, and it's been sort of steadily creeping up 45, which, you know, sort of puts me in the top 10% for people my age. And yeah, now I feel that I'm doing really well. I feel like my training runs are getting better. So when I'm going out, you know, I'm sort of floating out at 10-minute mile pace, which isn't really costing me much effort at all. What's really costing me effort is when I go out and do those 5k park runs, and I'm trying to run sort of 9.5 minutes, 9-minute mile pace. But at around 10-minute mile pace on these road runs that I do, on my training runs, circular training runs, 5, 6, 7k, I'm running 10-minute mile pace with relative ease. I'm just floating out and floating back, and in zone 2 training. Now today I've done a run. Now I had to go 3 days without training because I went on holiday somewhere. That concerned me, because my routine at the moment is I run a day, I rest a day, I run a day, I rest a day. Now I'm going to ramp that up a bit and go for 2 days running, 1 day rest, 2 days running, 1 day rest, because I want to increase the amount of running that I do steadily and gradually, avoiding injury. But in order to make improvement, I think this run a day, rest a day, run a day, rest a day is okay if you want to have really slow improvement. But I think that running 2 days and resting a day would probably be a better regime for me. So yeah, I did a really good training run just before I left on Wednesday. Had a good, just a 2-mile run. You know, it felt fluent, it felt good, no problems at all. I could have maintained a conversation during that run. Unfortunately, my Garmin watch, for some strange reason, would not pick up on a GPS satellite. Sadly, I waited and I waited, nothing happened. And then I started running. I thought, I can't wait all the time for this. And throughout the whole run, no, it didn't. So I didn't even get to time myself because it would not lock on. Yeah, so while I was away, I thought I might do a run. I went on holiday somewhere where it might be difficult to go running. So yeah, I ran on Wednesday, missed Thursday, missed Friday, and I missed Saturday. Sunday today I went for a run because I'm back. So I missed 3 days. So I broke my training schedule, and I was worried that I might take a step back simply because I missed an extra couple of days. It didn't really happen though. I felt fine. I went for a run this morning, felt really good. It was drizzling a little bit. It was cool. I didn't have this heat problem. And I ran just under 5k in 31 minutes and 3 seconds, 6:17 per mile, sorry, 6:17 per kilometer pace, which is what, it's about 31.5 minutes for 5K. Um, and it was an easy run. I just floated all the way. I ran as fast as I could run without kind of breaking a sweat and without it being difficult. I just let my legs go. I didn't think about my form. I just let myself float, didn't feel any pain in my legs. My legs feel fine. My breathing feels fine. Okay, I didn't push myself today, and I just went out easy. No training in 3 days. I thought I'll have an easy run, so I did about 5K, 31:03. It was 4.94 according to my Garmin. It did lock on this time, but I had to wait a couple of minutes. I don't know why it's taking so long. Maybe it's because I'm where I'm standing waiting for it, but it is frustrating waiting for it. But I like to have the information from my watch and my Connect app to know how I'm doing. So yeah, I ran about 31 minutes for 4.94K, 6:17 per kilometer, and my heartbeat was 131, which actually is quite low. It's definitely zone 2 training, that is, and I felt like it was an easy run. I felt like I could have easily run another 5K at that pace, and I'm feeling very positive about my running. And I'm looking forward to just being patient and making steady improvements. I'm not at this moment thinking of doing any interval training or even any hill training. I'm just going to keep building my stamina, building my fitness. On a day that I don't run, I do strength training, I do leg raises, I do squats, that kind of thing. And that's feeling better. My legs feel good and strong. I've been losing a bit of weight, which helps. Everything is going absolutely fine. And I'm really looking forward to my next park run. And I'm going to try and get under 30 minutes this time without pushing myself too hard. And oh no, actually I'm running this week in Nottingham. I'm going to run the course that I did 30:22 on grass. So we'll see how I did. We'll see how I do. We'll see whether I can break 30 minutes. But I won't be too disappointed if I don't break 30 minutes. And let's see how it goes. And yeah, everything's going fine. I didn't have any problems with missing 3 days running. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be back to my training schedule. I'm probably going to have a run tomorrow, and I'm going to do 2 days running, 1 day rest, just to ramp up my running mileage a bit and hopefully gradually improve times. I'd like to see myself improving my 5K time by 1 minute a month, okay? So let's say I'm down to say 29.5 minutes at the moment. Okay, that was on that tarmac course, but I would like to be running, so I'd like by next month to be running under 29 minutes, and then following month after that 28, and I want to gradually reduce it down to the point where my target is to run 20 minutes for 5K in a year and to actually win one of these. There are guys my age out there doing it who are running around about 20 minutes. They're sort of age 60, 64 age group, and they're out there doing it. And I just think it would be amazing if I could win my local one. It's only got 60 runners in it. The winning time is usually around 20 minutes. Sometimes it's a bit faster, but for me to win that race would really be quite something, I think, and it's a good thing. It's a good target to have. I've had people saying to me, oh, don't get too ambitious, don't be too hard on yourself, don't set the bar too high. Well, I'm sorry, I've always been competitive, and that's exactly the sort of person I am. I will set the bar too high. I will be hard on myself at times, and I will be disappointed if I've not run as well as I think that I can run. And that's about it for now. I'm following lots of training videos, and yeah, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of opinions on what to do and what not to do. And I think it depends on the individual. And if I feel that I can run, 2 days running and then have rest a day, so not skip a day too much, then why not try it? I'll always kind of take it a bit easy in my training, avoiding injury. So that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you're still with me, thank you for your patience, and I hope that you'll keep following my fortunes. And if you've got a running channel, leave a comment below. I'll probably go and have a look at it. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.